Okay, everyone settle down. Thank you. I'm here to announce OwnersBox commitment to nut shaving technology. I'd like to thank everyone who recruited me, the old razor and the beard trimmer, but I'm going to be taking my talents to Manscaped for our nut cutting season. 20% off at manscaped.com with promo code BOX and free shipping worldwide. Once again, 20% off and free shipping worldwide with promo code BOX. Get it today.
Welcome back to another episode of Doing Football. Today we've got must-start players for you on OwnersBox in the SuperFlex salary cap game. Looking at the Sunday-only contest here, $50,000 prize pool. If you want to play for free entry with promo code DREW9, just like we used for week 1, we're using it again for you for week 2. So if you haven't played an OwnersBox, DREW9 is the code you want to use, $10 free entry. Now, for those of you that won some money last week, I'm sure you got some money in your account to spend. Yes. Get playing, get into these contests, put that money to use.
15 entries max.
Yeah, 15 entries max into this one. Now, before we get into it, I know there's a couple of things I think you guys would really enjoy to hear. First, we'll talk about last week's winning lineup, and then we'll talk a bit about ownership percentage last week, some interesting numbers for us to get out to you. So, last week's winning lineup, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, the big
triple stack.
Makes a ton of sense. I mean, I
think a lot of people are going to use that this week now.
Yeah, put that to use, exactly. You'd think that these are three players that are highly thought of in terms of at their respective positions. A lot of people have them 1-1 overall and season long. So some of them were highly owned. Patrick Mahomes was 13% owned. I did see Travis Kelce here somewhere near the top. He was just over 10. He was 10.5% owned or rostered. So they were highly rostered on people's lineups in our 100K week 1 contest, but this guy was still able to win as well with these high ownership percentages.
When you get those three guys in there, you got to hit on the minimum guys. Like I think he had Zach Pascal in his lineup.
Yeah.
So like that's a big minimum play that just hit for him.
Exactly. Rondell Moore and Terrace Marshall were as well part of the lineup. His second quarterback in the Superflex spot. Of course, you need to use quarterback in your Superflex spot. Jalen Hurts, big game there, 36 points on the platform. And then who am I missing? Chase Edmonds as well, 14. And
solid
then Kareem Hunt were the two running backs. So I think this lineup scored over 200 points on the week. So that's what you're going to need if you want to win in week 2. I mentioned this to you, Jared, before we started. The highest roster percentages in the 100K contest went to 3 players that
sucks.
Completely shit the bed for you. James Robinson, far and away the most rostered player, 32.8% rostered in the 100K contest. Raheem Mostert and Marquez Callaway were 2 and 3, 26% and 22%. And then the big dog, Christian McCaffrey, was the 4th most at 20%. Then a bit of a fall off to a few other guys. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, I believe, were the 2 highest rostered. No, Sam Darnold, actually, just in front of Patrick Mahomes. But they were the top ownership percentages for those guys. And these guys were in the winning lineup. So you can still have highly rostered players, but you need to get a healthy mix in here.
But yeah, like as we talked about this last week too, you can't only go for the guys that look like the best plays. Like James Robinson looked like a great play, Raheem Mostert looked like a great play, because everybody's going to do it. And if you are the guy who fades those plays and then those guys miss like they did in week 1, it's going to put you a significant advantage. Yeah. So it's not always smart to just go for the guys who look like the best plays. Yeah. Everybody's going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Obvious that this guy didn't have either. There's a reason this guy won without having those 3 guys in his lineup. So let's get to building a lineup in the 50K contest for this week. Sunday only again. I did a little bit of prep. We've been building some lineups so far this week for some of our in-house contests. I want to attack this stack strategy.
Use the strategy that guy won with.
So I've looked at a lineup that I want to build around the Baltimore Ravens offense going against Kansas City this week. I think Mark Andrews is a great tight end to pair with Lamar Jackson. The run game from Lamar, I know the fumbles were an issue. They've always been an issue with Lamar Jackson. He fumbles the ball a ton.
That's what happens when he runs the ball.
Exactly, but they're not going to shy away from it, and I think this is a good chance for their connection to be big this week.
Yeah, I agree. Like this is going to be an absolute shootout. Lamar and Mahomes are going to be going back and forth, and Andrews is his number 1 target. So I like the stack of Lamar and Mark Andrews, and I think we throw in one more guy here. I think one guy that would be a great throw-in would be Marquise Brown.
Yeah, we talked about it on Start Sit yesterday, and Jared kind of got me in on it. He had a great game. He was worked in heavily, and I think that's going to continue to be the same story because I don't know the rushing offense will be there. It always will be there, but with the loss they've had, I think Marquise Brown's going to be well involved. Changing your number can do a lot for you, right?
Oh yeah,
it's a better juju
big
for
boost,
him.
but sometimes it makes it worse, like with Robert Woods.
Yeah, it's a balancing act of number changes.
But yeah, Marquise Brown is very cheap. He's only 4,800, and he's been pretty underrated so far. I think not only just this season, but at the end of last season too. So
yeah, the drop struggles
I really like that.
weren't there, or were there last year, weren't there this year. So that's good.
Yeah, so that's a good triple stack. But let's go with the second one here. Let's double up the triple stacks. And I know one you were looking at was the Bengals.
Yeah, I like going against the Bears passing defense for the Bengals. I thought, they were much better than I think we anticipated last week, and I think that continues. This is a good matchup where I think they can score some points through the air. Won't be able to run the ball that well with Joe Mixon this week. So I'm going Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. That's what I want to hit this week.
That's the triple threat right there. And like as you said, the Bears defense is known for being good, but their pass defense is what isn't good. Like we saw last week how bad they got burned on a couple deep balls. Like Van Jefferson was wide open. I think Cooper Kupp had one too.
Yeah.
So the same thing could easily happen with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins this week. And if it does, then the Burrow, Chase, Higgins stack is going to be a great one. And it's not even that expensive either. Chase and Higgins, 5,400. So I like that.
Yeah, let's go from there to, the money we have left isn't very, what are we at in terms of average?
47.33.
So I want to go cheap on running back.
Yeah, we got a good cheap running back here.
James White is one that I like. If you can scroll down and find him, he's at 4,400.
That's very cheap.
And with the Ramondre Stevenson and Damian Harris fumbles, James White even saw a healthy amount of passing work with Mac Jones, which I talked about before the season, that it really looked like this was going to be a big connection for Mac Jones, was being able to use James White, and his roles kind of back to what it looked like with Tom Brady. So I think you combine that with the matchup against the Jets and the fact that he might get a little bit more rushing attempts because of Damian Harris and Ramondre maybe being in the doghouse a little bit. So I want to play James White this week in my season-long matchups, but as well, I think he's a good play this week at his number.
Yeah, I mean, at 4,400, the floor he provides is more than enough to be considered a great value at 4,400. So I like James White to be a running back there for us and just provide great value, especially in full PPR, because remember, this is full PPR.
Okay, why don't we speed this up and we'll do one more line, one more lineup. So I like Chase Claypool this week. I like the Steelers pass catchers in general. I should say I like Johnson and I like Claypool. Claypool has a chance to come up with a few big plays, something that Lamar Jackson didn't really do too much this past week. He had that big run, and I think he hit Marquise Brown for a big play, but that was really about it. Or maybe it was Sammy Watkins. I'm trying to remember.
I think it was Marquise Brown.
Yeah. So I'm going to go Claypool because I think he has a chance to be that couple touchdown guy.
Raiders defense sucks.
Yeah, pass defense is not good.
And then this was an interesting pick that I saw you made here, Trace Sermon. Now I know a lot of people are probably going to be looking at Elijah Mitchell this week, but I like the Trace Sermon pick because everybody's going to be off of it. So if you want to make a pick that nobody else is going to think of, Trace Sermon's a good one because you never know who's going to be the guy in the San Francisco 49ers backfield.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan just throwing a blanket over our heads. I have no idea what to expect from him. And Trace Sermon's going to be active. He's going to dress. So there's a good chance here that he's going to get his opportunity. And his build and his size makes him the guy on the goal line in the red zone, as opposed to Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell really profiles a lot like Raheem Mostert, so I could see Trace Sermon getting some goal line work and giving you some huge upside. He's 4,200 and 4K is the minimum for running back, so I love Trace Sermon. Yeah,
I love this lineup. 2 triple stacks. We'll see how that strategy works out. Mm-hmm. It clearly worked out for the winner last week, so if these 2 offenses have great weeks, then this could work out really well for us.
Yeah, we don't even need to. If one of these really hit of the 2, then I think we're still looking good, because I think that, like, let's say, Lamar Andrews, Marquise Brown really hits for us. I see the Burrow, Chase, Higgins still being very safe if it doesn't explode.
Yeah.
Why don't we do one more? Why don't we do one more lineup?
One in there.
I'll kind of leave it to you to kind of see what you want to do.
I think another strategy that could work out very well this week is going with 2 cheap quarterbacks. Now, last week, some big name guys blew up like Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. But I like the value on like a Ben Roethlisberger this week of 5,700.
Yeah.
That's one of the cheaper quarterbacks available, and he's got the Raiders. So I think this is going to be a big blowout week for him. It's 6 point per passing touchdown, so I could easily see 3, maybe even 4 touchdown passes out of him. So I really like that. And then another quarterback is only $100 more. Teddy Bridgewater plays the Jaguars, and we saw Tyrod Taylor just dominate the Jaguars last week. So if he can do it, Teddy Bridgewater for sure can do it. So I like that as a cheap quarterback stack and 2 guys who have like 2, 3, 4 touchdown upside.
Yeah, we have lots of salary to work with those 2 guys,
Yeah.
and I think there's upside with both of them for sure.
Definitely.
I think. Do we want to attack some stacks with those guys?
Yeah, I think you still need to make it. Even if you don't go triple stack, you need to at least go with a double stack. With these SuperFlex lineups, it just is the smartest thing to do. So we did one with Chase Claypool. So let's go with Deontay Johnson for this other one here. I like both those guys this week. I think both will have a good week. So I'll find Johnson. Deontay's 5,800. I like that. And then with Teddy Bridgewater, instead of going with a wide receiver, I think Noah Fant is the play, honestly.
I like it.
Fant was one of Bridgewater's favorite targets. He ended up getting, I think, 6 receptions, something like that?
Yeah, I think he was 6 for 7.
Yeah, so especially against the Giants defense, now it's going to be a lot easier of a matchup. So I like the Bridgewater-Fant combo. Mm-hmm. And now because we went with a bunch of cheap guys, we're able to get more expensive guys to fill out the rest of this roster.
Yeah. So we talked about those, the Hill, the Kelsey, the McCaffrey having, they might be some people, players that a lot of people target, but they also are going to produce. So we spend on some of the high guys. I know we talked about it before, like Derrick Henry really struggled. That was a miss. Dalvin Cook didn't really have the big game. So those were some misses on the high price guys. Ridley as well. So that you can miss on these guys and it'll punish, you might get punished for it, but there are still some high price guys that'll consistently produce too.
For sure. Now 2 running backs I'd say that I really like this week are, one is David Montgomery. Now he had a great week against the Rams, and now he plays the Bengals. So a lot easier of a matchup, and I expect 20 plus carries out of him now that it's going to be more of a neutral game script.
I love that.
Yeah, and he's only 6,200, even less than Mixon, Eckler. So
yeah,
David Montgomery as the running back 1, and then a cheap guy that I really like. You know this. It's Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
of the Detroit Lions.
You got to put your the running back.
Oh wait, it's Sunday only. We can't put him in.
Yes.
If you do the Thursday to Monday, go with Jamal Williams.
Yeah,
I really like him. Now who instead of him? I like Tyson Williams, 5,000. Now it's because this is going to be a shootout. He has an opportunity to score multiple touchdowns, and considering he's only 5,000, I like that. The Chiefs' run defense isn't great. We saw it last week against Chubb.
Yeah.
So I like Tyson Williams there.
Here's what I'm thinking about. Like I think about the Chubb, Kareem Hunt. I do think they might be highly rostered this week, in just with the matchup and how good they looked. So it's one that I'm interested in, but I am a little worried that I won't really get an advantage over anyone by playing him. What do you think of maybe Kamara as like a guy we anchor?
I like Kamara this week. Panthers, pretty good matchup. We saw last week the Saints didn't really get
anyone else involved.
Yeah,
heavily?
anyone else involved.
Yeah,
like there was a few deep shots that
Harris hit,
Winston threw.
Yeah,
so we could see the same thing again, but I think Kamara has a higher touchdown ceiling than we saw in week 1. I think he only scored the 1 touchdown. And then Jameis Winston threw for like 5. So
yeah, just didn't have the ball as much as we thought.
Yeah, but I like Kamara. If we do go Kamara here, we would have to go very cheap with our wide receiver and flex spot, 43.50 average.
Okay, well do you want to just keep him out and see what we work with the rest?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what we can get with the rest.
So
here.
what do we've got?
We got 50,
running back, wide receiver, and 2 flex spots still to work with?
No, we have just the 1 wide receiver and 2 flex.
2 flex, okay, got you.
So who are some other guys here that I like? Let's go with a little bit cheaper. Let's find a good value pick down at the bottom. Here's a good one here.
What do you think of like a KJ Hamler or because you have Teddy here, right?
Yeah.
And you did Fant.
Yeah, we've got the Teddy Hamler or the Teddy Fant stack.
Okay. Keep scrolling through here. There, like even a Schwartz or a Peoples Jones would be cheap. I mentioned AJ Green before as somebody that really was on the field a lot. Jalen Guyton. I like Jalen Guyton.
Yeah? You think he's going to have he is going to have an easy matchup against the Cowboys, and I think it was, what's that guy's name? Was it Anthony Brown?
Yeah.
On the Cowboys? He's probably going to get matched up against him.
This is the thing. Guyton ran like routes on, I think it was 73%, 74% of Herbert's dropbacks. He was the wide receiver 3. Like clearly, Palmer didn't really get a lot of snaps. And KJ Hill, he did have a few catches, but he really wasn't out there as much either. And Hill was a lot in the slot when he did play. So he's not even taking routes away from Guyton because he's all on the outside. Guyton will be the least of the Cowboys' worries this week. I think Guyton is a great play at his really cheap price. I think he's $3,700. 3,500, even better. Yeah,
he's the kind of guy that can just get that one massive catch, 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Another guy I like here, Jarvis Landry at 5,100. Against the Texans, we already know Odell's not going to play.
Yep.
So that's an easy matchup. Jarvis Landry gets involved many ways, so I like him as the wide receiver 1 in Cleveland at 5,100. And if we do that, that leaves us with a lot of money to play with. We could throw in Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Tyreek Hill or Alvin Kamara. We have 8,100.
Nice. Okay, so we just made it work anyway.
Hill or Kamara?
Gosh. With what we have, so go through our roster a bit so I can remember like really what we'd be chasing something
Big Ben,
high upside.
David Montgomery, Tyson Williams, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Guyton, Noah Fant, Jarvis Landry, Teddy Bridgewater.
God. I feel like Hill is a play for us to have something really big go off.
Yeah.
Kamara, I think I want to go Kamara though.
Yeah. Kamara, I like that. I'm good with either of them. Like obviously both have very high upside week to week. So it's to throw them in as the last guy in the lineup is pretty nice.
Yeah, throw the preview on there, let people see that in full.
This is the full team. We got the 2 stacks with 2 cheap quarterbacks. Kamara anchoring the lineup and a few nice values at Guyton, Williams, Landry, Montgomery.
I like what we did there. We did there. We built 2 lineups for you guys. Feel free to put them to use on the platform, but at the very least, take some of these guys into account when you're building your lineup. Some good options for you this week. And again, if you use promo code DREW9, you're going to get a $10 free entry into our week 2 contest, $50,000 guaranteed prize pool on OwnersBox. The SuperFlex aspect, getting rid of the defense and kicker makes life so much easier. And with the SuperFlex position, we've got tons of options in terms of roster construction, our stacks. So ton of fun, and definitely go check out the platform. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to drop a like, comment if you got any questions on OwnersBox, lineup decisions you're trying to make on OwnersBox as well, and subscribe to the channel, of course, if you enjoyed, and we will see you guys next time.